a Pete Primeau fan.
Thank you for having me.
Your fans are like...
What an honor to be here, Pete. You're a legend. You're a rock star.
I'm a legend in my own mind, said my wife.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I'm Mr. Selling from the Heart. What's this guy, Larry Levine, going to teach me about selling from the heart?
You are one of the most generous and authentic people around. And I think that's why you and your show are so attractive to people.
Welcome to the Pete Primeau Show. It is episode 262. What's new with BedTech, Tariffs, and more with my friends, Darren Sparks and Justin Trumbo. We will get to them in just a second. Let's pay the bills really quickly. If you haven't read my book, Sell a Million, what are you waiting for? 101 tips for furniture and mattress store owners. The best compliment I ever got on this book was from my dear friend, Doug Stewart, who said, just take the word furniture and mattress out of the book. It's just a great business and marketing book. If you want a sales book, here, I got a sales book for you. Miles and miles of retail sales greatness. This isn't just my book. This is our book. As a matter of fact, Justin wrote one of the best chapters in the book. Also, Brent Batterman, Jeff Giannakovo, Mark Klingenberg, Randy Thompson, Mel Opp, Keith Cassinguy, Chris Tahaney, Steve Carnes, and Scott Vaughn all wrote chapters in this book. If you are a sales manager and you need to do a weekly sales meeting, you basically got 3 years worth of sales meeting material right here. So grab this on Amazon or Sell a Million. And I'd like to thank my friends at Mattress Industry Network Group, Steve and Greg, for sponsoring the show. Guys, this is a great group. If you're not in there, hit that QR code and join. If you want to learn how to advertise, how to build, how to market, how to sell and succeed in the mattress industry today, you couldn't find a better group. It's 100% free. And like I said, just hit that QR code and join us. Thank you again, Steve and Greg. I appreciate everything you guys do, not only for me and my show and my audience, but also for the industry. You guys are just great guys, and we appreciate you more than you know. My dear friend, Chris Tahaney's got a big project, guys, and I want you to join hands and really get this out there. Your story needs to be heard. There are success stories almost every day in retail stores that the outcomes of when a customer's life has changed, they're getting a better night's sleep, they're a better mother, father, policeman, fireman, whatever they do in this world, they do it better because of you. Share that story with us. If you're not a good writer, but you have a story, all you got to do is email it in to mattressrsastories@gmail.com. Chris will polish it up for you. He'll send it back to you for your approval. And if your story is chosen to be in the book, it'll be in the book. So we'd love to get the word out there. If you own a business and you have a superstar, RSA, and they're just, a little bit on the shy side, and you want to send a story in for them, please do it. Chris would love to have that story as well. Let's get behind this project. It's a great project. And thank you for sponsoring the Pete Primeau Show. Jeff Giannakovo does a great job with MRT along with Mike Capuzzi. Guys, I'm a member of this group. And I'm telling you, for $97 or $99 a month, it's absolutely ridiculous. Go to mattressretailertoolkit.com to find out what's going on, or hit that QR code. Hit that QR code; it'll take you right there. And join MRT. It's a great group, and not only that, there's a lot of learning that happens. This is my last announcement, guys. We are almost full, but there's still some openings. Retailer boardroom dinner hosted by Jeff Giannakovo and a special guest. I don't know if he announced a special guest or not, so I don't want to blow it. But I am going to tell you, the special guest is one of the most knowledgeable, most passionate, and most talented guys in our industry. And I absolutely love this guy that is going to be the special guest. This is 100% free, and there's no gotchas. There's no sales pitch. There's no, do this, do the other thing. It is going to be a great event. And guys, I rearranged my whole schedule to be at this event. So please contact Jeff Giannakovo if you want to join this. So without a further ado, we have one more sponsor. My Sell a Million monthly newsletter, where you can, in about 5 to 10 minutes, just a front and a back, you can catch up to everything that's going on. It gives you a focal point to proceed every month. And that final thought right there, that thing is huge, guys. Where can your store show up in 2026 that it hasn't before? A new market segment, a new medium, a new community partnership, or simply more consistency in the places that matter most. Wherever those places are, I'd love to help you get there. Here's to a powerful year ahead. Just that right there is worth its weight in gold, and it's free. If you want the newsletter, just reach out to me at pete@peteprimeau.com, and I will send you a copy right away. If you want to get on the regular list and have a hard copy mailed to you every month, let me know that too, and I'll get it out to you. Is that it, Chris? We're done, right? Please tell me we're done. Yeah. Darren, Justin, welcome.
Hey, thank you so much, Pete. It is an honor to be back with you here on the Pete Primeau Show. You are doing great things, and we're just happy to be a part of it. Thank you.
Well, you're doing great things, and I'm happy to be part of what you're doing as well, my friend. So for those of you who are really astute, you have a question in your head. Wasn't this published as an Ask Pete? It actually was. And then me and Justin got on the phone, and me and Justin talked and talked and talked and talked. And I said, man, most of the questions that I've got are about tariffs. So I might as well have you guys who are experts on this come on and talk about that. But everybody that's watching and listening right now, I've got some great news for you. This is 100% live right now. And if you have a question, ask the question, and we will get to it and we will answer it. So, Justin, what do we need to know about tariffs?
First, Pete, thanks for having us on. And before we touch on tariffs, I kind of want to touch on two things from your introduction.
Sure.
Jeff Giannakovo does an amazing job over at MRT, and BedTech, we're proud to support that. And so if anybody does sign up for MRT as a new sign up, please remember we'll issue the $97 bill credit and let you use it against an invoice over $500. And so really joining MRT to get that education is essentially free. And then it's just whether or not you like it forward. And then also same with Greg and Steve over at Midas. We're really proud to support those guys over there as well, where if you do your $299 sign up there, we'll also issue a credit back where it's free. So some of those resources that you were talking about at the beginning, we want to let the listeners know that, BedTech really supports those resources, and they're there for you for a reason. And we're trying to make those barriers to cost down so people can use what's actually available for them.
Well, there you go, folks. BedTech will pay your first month, so it's absolutely free. Chris Tahaney has two things. Shame on anyone that can RSVP for the retailer boardroom dinner, but doesn't. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Chris. And number two, we all love the BedTech boys. Absolutely, I love the BedTech boys. I am one of the BedTech boys.
We love Chris Tahaney back. He's one of the great ones. Love you, Chris.
Love you, Chris. Pascal says, I'm fired up. These two guys are tackling the tough questions in the industry. Yes, we are going after it. Is that Tara? Hey, Tara, I am so sorry you can't go to market. But here's a long distance hug. Looking forward to the show today. Thank you, Tara.
Yes,
and Nicholas here from Alabama. Looking forward to the show. Shout out to Nicholas in Alabama. Thank you. All right, let's roll.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and go back to your question and try to speak on tariffs a little bit. And, tariffs, they've been insane for everybody. I mean, it started April of last year. It started small, actually. It started with just incremental steel tariffs, which were very not that effective to the industry. And what we've seen versus taking everybody all the way through it from April all the way to today is a high ratcheting of the tariffs, a doubling of the tariffs, a new way to put more tariffs on. And we've seen these tariffs go from an incremental piece of the item to a very large cost of the item. And most of the people, I would say, in our industry have probably had to react by either raising prices, putting substantial surcharges, or other ways. I'll let Darren actually speak a little bit more to some of the stuff that we've done. But as a company, we decided first, instead of trying to yank prices higher, we did everything we could to keep them low. And we looked internally. I mean, we started trying to cut the cost of our lumber, cut the cost of our shipping, cut the cost of our shrink wrap, our nails, anything we could do as an outbound cost as a company to not pass the pain through to the retailers and be as consistent in our pricing as possible. Darren, you can maybe speak a little bit more to the freight side of what you did, and then we can maybe talk a little bit more about what's happening now with tariffs versus going over the last year so much.
Yeah, as Justin stated, we looked at this this tariff situation. We knew it was going to disrupt a lot of the business structures that people had set in place. It was going to change pricing. It was going to be a huge issue on the retail front. And we saw that coming, and we realized how it would impact our partners. It was going to impact us greatly as well. But, instead of saying, hey, let's put on, if we're getting, 26% tariff or whatever it was at the time, instead of trying to pass all of that along to our customers, we said, we got together, Justin and I and Brandon and I, an ownership group, and we said, hey, what can we do to mitigate these costs, not make it be a pain point for our customers for the BedTech side of things. We saw what a lot of other people were doing, and it was hurtful to people's business, and people suffered. And so, yeah, we looked inward. We one of the biggest costs that we have is freight. And if you're not being careful with the way that you're freighting things, these freight companies can nickel and dime you with all these accessorial charges and all of these different charges that can really amplify, a problem. And so we have a partner, Priority One, and they came up with this dimensionizer. It's actually a digital thing using AI, and you can actually get the size and the weight of your pallet perfectly, and it will literally, with a few little tiny changes, go from having all of these accessorial charges to zero. And so we've done a lot of things like that, and costing out things like shrink wrap and all those other things, pallets, and making our own pallets, all of these things to really become better at what we do, lower our costs so that we didn't have to pass on this huge tariff to our customers, because they're our partners. When they do good, we do good, and their success is important to us. And so, yeah, that's kind of what we did with this tariff situation. And I think it's been well received. Our customers have really appreciated the fact that we didn't pass on huge amounts of tariff to them. And so, that's kind of the strategy that we took. Look inward. help our customers, don't cause a pain point on them like other people have. And I think that resonates with a lot of people.
And Pete, I want to jump in really quick. It's funny when you go out setting off on these kind of projects, how you can sometimes stumble upon other missions that you can take. I was at a FAM Sleep Summit about a year and a half ago, and another distributor, large company, really big in the pillow space, the owner's daughter went on there talking about a mission of going green and going carbon neutral. And, I never thought that I'd found a way to kind of integrate that into our business. Well, one of the cost savings, I found a local company to actually break down old pallets, recycle the pallets, bring me back good 2x4s and 1x4s. So through not only the cost savings, now a little plus benefit, my facility, we're trying to go net pallet neutral, where every pallet we're putting out, we're actually essentially taking one back out of the system. And so it's funny when you go out to kind of try to do some of these projects and really look at your business, how you can end up having these side benefits that you never thought that you possibly could.
Well, and here's the other piece of it. The pallets that we build perform better. They're better pallets. There's less damage. And another thing, and this is just a human aspect, because I know the details of what you're talking about, you change someone else's life for the better. The guy that you partnered with, changed his life for the better.
For sure.
Not only his life, but his entire family's life.
Right, exactly. Because now you're getting to use a local guy to do that process where he's hiring local people versus buying from a big company, et cetera. Exactly. So you also got the benefit of supporting small business also. Yeah, exactly, Pete.
I'm glad you guys are talking about this right now before we get into any of the other stuff, because it's so important. BedTech has not raised. We've had competitors raise 30%, another one raise 40%. And there's some more that are coming. I just don't know, how much they are. So it's really easy just to blindly raise. It really reveals who you guys are as human beings to me. Well, you want to be a great value to our retail store owners.
Yeah,
you guys are working.
We take this very seriously. We don't want to react quickly either. Reacting quickly when all of these tariffs are happening is playing the short game, right? We are in this for the long haul. We are trying to make all of our decisions after analyzing all of the data, because the data changes all the time, right? We're in the middle, and we can talk about this in a little bit. We're in the middle of some of these things changing. Whether these tariffs are going to stick or not, or are they legal? The Supreme Court's going to let us know. Some of the tariffs are being minimized by some of these, priority trade partners of the United States. And so we looked at this, and for a while, if we're really looking at the way that we were selling these things, some of these things that Justin and I were selling at these humongous tariff price were at a loss. We weren't making money, right? But we didn't want to react and say, hey, let's throw all of these tariffs at our customers. We knew it was going to hurt them. We could play the long game. We can tread water and say, hey, things are going to change. And if they don't change in a year, whatever, we can adjust at that point in time and try to figure it out. And so we wanted to make sure that everything that we did wasn't reactionary, that it wasn't going to cause a huge problem on our customers where it's going to put them into a financial situation. And we wanted to make sure that we had all the facts, all the data, all of the things that were going to change until it's concrete. We wanted to make sure that we weren't going to do anything that was going to have to make us react again when things changed. And so that was kind of our approach.
Yeah. Well, I'm very thankful for it. Hey, Steve. Good morning, fellas, says Steve Hauk. Steve, I'm still recovering from our hour and 55-minute phone call last night. I'm looking forward to seeing you, brother. Anthony Campos, how much to get Justin on camera? If you would give us a super bid of $500, I will partner with Justin and we will get him on camera.
I want to see it. I want to see
Andrew,
Justin's beautiful face on camera.
Andrew Burt. Hey, BedTech brothers. Great guys, great products. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate you. Edward Collins, can you share a link to that app, please? Dimensionizer. Edward, if you want to send your email address on here, I will get you hooked up with all of that information. No problem. Awesome. Guys, I just want to go back in time. You know, we had this little thing called COVID, and I remember a lot of manufacturers really reacting herky-jerky to that, both furniture and on the mattress side of it and on the adjustable bed side of it. We didn't go up. I think, Justin, is this right? In the entire time I've been with you guys, you've only ever had one price increase ever?
Yeah, and in the 14 years that my facility's been there, we've only had one price increase, and it was about 2/3 of the way into COVID.
Yeah. We were the last guys and gals, those of you with a short memory, we were the last one that raised, and it was a really small raise too. Steve Houck posted another comment, something about you and a black eye. Justin has a black eye. That's why he's hiding.
Yeah,
right.
you know, okay.
Steve knows.
Steve would know. I trust Steve's opinion.
Win Hansen, I am going to use my $97 Justin Trumbo money and join MRT. Awesome. You should. Glad to hear that.
Yeah, I fell into a doorknob, Steve. That wasn't you.
But you know, Steve, is one of our greatest advocates of the whole industry. Steve puts so much time and effort into elevating the mattress industry, and I just appreciate what Steve brings to the table. He uses his platform along with Greg. Obviously, Greg's an amazing guy. They both partner together to really elevate our industry. They put on things for people and bring people together as a community to learn from each other. I love what they're doing. I'm so grateful to be a part of that Mattress Industry Network. What a great establishment that they've done, and just all the people, the quality of people in there. Man, you can't find a better group of people. Incredible minds, incredible business people that elevate each other. It's awesome to see.
And ladies and gentlemen that are watching, those of you going to Vegas, don't miss Monday night, 6:30 at Victory Burger. The Mattress Industry Network group sponsors a great little get together. It's a lot of fun, great food, wings and burgers, and great company. There's always a great turnout there. So 100% free, sponsored. I think EZ sponsors that. That's awesome. Thank you, Chris. So let's go a little deeper on the tariff thing. Steve Houck says, I love you to Darren Spark.
All right, buddy. That's awesome. I'll give you a big hug at market, buddy.
Justin, are you there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I'm just staying muted for Steve since he didn't give me any love.
Oh, I am. Hey, Steve, thank you for correcting me. Midas is sponsoring it this year. Midas is a sponsor of the event at the Victory Burger for the Mattress Industry Network group. Thank you, Steve, for catching me on that. All right, Justin, let's go deeper on tariffs.
Yeah, so now where we kind of sit today, you have a 50% steel tariff that everybody's going to have to deal with under what's called Section 232. So it doesn't matter where the product's coming from in the world, we're all having to pay it. What you're starting to see is our administration do individual country trade deals. There's been one done with Vietnam, another one done with Thailand, and most of those deals are what we've been having to deal with, which are called stacking tariffs, where there's a 19% tariff that stacks on top of the steel. And it's very cumbersome. I think Darren said the math earlier. It's like 28% of the cost of goods, which pushes a lot of our items into the negative. Luckily, we source most of our goods from Taiwan. And there was just some news broke the other day. I don't want to speak ahead of our administration, obviously, but it looks like Taiwan's going to get what's called favorite nation status. It's what's been given to Singapore, Japan, a few other places where the tariffs actually don't stack. They are a cap. And so the 15% would actually be a capped tariff, which with some of the savings and things that we've done internally, we're hoping will mean we won't have to make any more adjustments, or if we do, there'll be very minor adjustments. To speak on this a little more, and just to speak directly, I think we can agree Taiwan is some of the best places for electronics. So there's a reason that 90% of the chips come from there. But the reason that a lot of people didn't use Taiwan before is they weren't necessarily always the cheapest. If you went to China, Vietnam, Thailand, you can use Chinese steel, you could use less expensive labor, where our factory, it's all robotics, it's state of the art. And so there was always, maybe a 10, 12% price arbitrage when you went to some of these other Chinese or Eastern Asian countries. It looks like that a lot of that will be getting removed by the tariff difference. If we're a 15% tariff and these other countries become in at 28% tariff, well, that 12 to 13% will remove, and it's probably why the administration's doing it this way, right? Favorite nation. They're pushing the business to the countries they want us to do business with: Singapore, EU, Japan, South Korea, etc. And so back to Darren's point about why we've been waiting to wait, and it's been very painful playing this long game, but we figured, hey, if we can wait 1 year and eat all the pain for everybody, what does we get to see on a go forward basis? And it looks like, cross fingers, hopefully that strategy will work out for us.
Can you talk a little bit more about our factory and the other products that are made in our factory in Taiwan?
Yeah, I mean, so it's an interesting story because Brandon, our founder, is probably one of the best, Darren's brother, is probably one of the best global sourcers that I've ever met in my life. I mean, he's definitely the reason that BedTech has its success. It's because if you really rewind, we've seen a lot of just craziness, from the original China tariffs to what happened during COVID to supply chain disruptions with not being able to get boats. And I mean, we've just seen it all. And he's done a great job of just pivoting along the way to just continue to improve our company. And when China had the first round of tariffs under Trump, I think it was 2018, 17, please don't hold my feet to the fire on that. Brandon went and found a medical factory in Taiwan. And this factory's core competency was supplying hospitals and long-term care facilities in Japan. And to do that, you have to have a certification that's called JIS. It's a Japanese industrial standard. It's given every 2 years. It basically says that the standard of your plant is the same, even if it's outside of Japan, as if it was inside of Japan. And that's what allows our factory to sell in to those medical situations. Well, Brandon realized, hey, wait, they have all these state-of-the-art robotics that can do welding, that can do powder coating, that can do everything we need it to do. And so he took our domestic lines of product and sent it over to this medical factory and had them open up their capacity to produce our domestic goods. And so that's why you can see with BedTech, the consistency in the product is so few human hands touch the process. And that's also, again, when you look at where that price variance used to be when you would do, China or other places, why you would see a little bit more cost. But it looks like now we're going to be in a pretty good situation to go forward with holding prices, keeping consistent quality, keeping our point of production, and to continue to make rolling improvements. I don't want to speak ahead of Darren because he usually makes this announcement, but our X4 just went Bluetooth. We have plans to have our X4 go zero clearance, and then we're working on other things that we can do without raising prices. And then at this market, and I don't know if it's a good parlay for it, we're going to be rolling out our ultimate base. And so we're very focused on the low end giving as much feature-rich products we can, whether it's stackable legs, Bluetooth, zero clearance, whatever features our retailers need. But we also want to listen to them at the high end because we see so many people pivoting to luxury, and we want to meet our retailers there as well.
All right. You got to tell this story, Justin. I want the Matthew, Red, and Justin's story about how you guys came up with this. And I don't want you to spare any of the bloody, gory details.
Some of the industry probably has been to some of our BedTech events. We used to host them in a penthouse. And, when you get these events going and you put all those retailers, manufacturers, and everything in one place, you hear a million ideas. And the one thing we kept hearing is suggestions for our adjustable bed. Why don't you have high-low? Why don't you have tilt? Why don't you have speakers? Why don't you have lights that change? Why don't you have, and it was just the list of why don't you haves and why don't you haves. And, the party had kind of cleared out, and it was, me, Matt O'Brien, Red Van Eggert, and Jaru, the owner of the factory. Some of you guys have met Jaru. Great guy. He'll be at market. Anybody that wants to meet our factory owner, he'll be hanging out in our space as well. And we were just kind of sitting around and we were like, why doesn't somebody just go to every single other company's best features that we're missing and just put it all in one place and just make the ultimate base? That way, if a person says, does this base have this? You can just be like, yep, 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 yep. And so that's where the ultimate base was kind of born. It was taking every single feature that we could find on the marketplace, whereas a standalone feature may not be impressive, right? High-low as a standalone feature, or reverse tilt as a standalone feature, or whatever may not be what that consumer needs. But if you put every single feature into one base, at the time that you need it on the sales floor, it's basically going to be there for you. You can just say yes, say yes, say yes. Does it have the speakers? Yes, it does. Does it tilt forward? Yes, it does. And the great thing, we did it with no kits, no assembly, screw on 6 legs, plug it into a wall. And so that's another thing we wanted to make sure that we did in our engineering was when we released this base, it wasn't something that was a kit or had to be assembled. We wanted it to be to us that we believe it keeps with our same speed of deliveries and thinking about retailers, because we don't want a whole truck to be slowed down 45 minutes to put one base together. And so that was also something we thought about.
And just to speak to what Justin's saying about the ultimate base, he talked about how it has speakers, and I want to make sure that we understand that these speakers are not just for sound, right? It's not just something that you hear. It's something that you experience, right? This adjustable base has these speakers, and there's actually going to be subs in there. There's going to be haptics where you feel this. It's a 3D immersive experience, and so you can hook this adjustable base up to your television. You can watch a movie on it. You can hook it up to your phone, but you feel the experience in your bed. You can use it for just massage only, these speakers, or you can use it to watch the movie in it, and it feels like you're in an IMAX theater. It is an experience unlike anything else. And so that portion of the adjustable base really transforms a bedroom into something that is, a lot of people like to read in bed or watch TV in bed or a movie. This transforms that experience into a whole new level. And so, this base is the ultimate base. It literally does everything that you can imagine in an adjustable base, all with one remote. It is incredible. And it's almost every feature that somebody's going to ask, does it have it? You can say yes to. It is the base of all bases. It's the envy of the adjustable base category. You got to come and see it. It is incredible.
And this is the BT9000. It will be in the Vegas market show space.
Absolutely. It will be in the exact color of fabric. It will have the BedTech badge on it that will, show it, gives it value. It is going to be the exact production that we will bring out. Yeah, it is done. It's ready.
So those of you who are going to market, C1564 is the space for BedTech, and you absolutely have to come by and see this. And Edward Collins, does the weight of the speakers affect the ability to drop ship?
So the speakers in and of itself are not, what affects the whole overall weight. That definitely is a piece of it. But because this has the high-low base and all of the metal that's in it, it's not something that can UPS or FedEx. But we do always have the ability to do a curbside delivery through any of our LTL services. And so, yeah, we can drop ship it. It's just not through a UPS, FedEx small parcel.
And I'll toss in there, Darren, technically we can also white glove that to any consumer's home. So at that price point, I would also say the customer is less sensitive to the cost. And so just remember, any service that you ever see on our website, we offer directly as a pass-through. So we would just pass through the exact white glove charge. We don't charge any handling. So yes, to your point, Edward, we can put it into a home, but it is not going to be your traditional folded base. This is going to be more of a table adjustable, if you guys remember, before the folded designs.
And you answered Win Hanson's question. Does it need to be white glove? Not necessarily, but it can be. Patrick Tinney, author of 4 great sales books. Greetings from Bancroft, Canada. Do you have Jeff Janakovo's comment? That was a really good one, Chris. I wanted to pull that up. On the MRT, this is Jeff Janakovo speaking, folks. On the MRT boardroom dinner, please RSVP. This isn't a show up and jump in kind of thing. Lots of fun and intention is planned. Please DM, email, text me to RSVP. Have some seats left at this point. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate you.
I want to just say to Jeff's point, and I think Chris said it best at the beginning. If you have the ability to go there, if you're going to be there Saturday, and you have the ability to attend that, and you're a retailer, you are crazy, if not borderline stupid, if you don't go to that. I'm sorry to be so blunt, but my gosh, that is an incredible opportunity for free to be in a room with some incredible minds. You got to show up.
I explained it to one of my dealers, and he said, "How much?" I said, the craziest part, it's free.
Seriously. I mean, that's an opportunity right there that doesn't come up very often. I mean,
no,
jump on that. My gosh.
Yeah. Jump on that. And I'll tell you what, I know some of the people that are going to be there. The brain power in that room is special. You need to be there because it's always the side conversations, right? When you just bump into somebody or you meet them and you just start talking on a break or something, it's always those side conversations. And that's how this whole thing is set up.
And so, Pete, you know as well as anybody that it's not major tweaks that people put into place that change the course of their business. It's small little changes, something that you've learned from somebody else that you can put into place. And that happens every day, every single day. You talk to retailers and it's something that they learned, just a tiny little tweak. And you can learn something at this meeting that will change the way that you do business in 2026, and you will be better because of it. You're talking about 4 hours to literally be better at your craft. Why would you not do it?
100%, 100%. Little hinges swing big doors, right?
Sure.
And it's not big things. It's a few little things, maybe just one little thing for your business. You might be so close and you don't know why something's not quite getting there, converting, and you sit next to somebody that you haven't met before and you figure it out before you leave. It's money.
Big money.
And
money.
And
you're paying nothing to be there and you're getting a free dinner.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. If that's not an opportunity, I don't know what is, I guess.
Yeah, it truly is. So you guys really outdid yourself. So you have high-low, reverse tilt, sonic speakers that feel like a 3D immersive experience. Think IMAX theater, all in one base. And on top of that, it's got all the features and benefits of the 6500.
Exactly. Yep. You have the pillow tilt, you have the lumbar support, USB-Cs, underbed lighting that are color changing. Yeah, I mean, there's literally nothing that this base doesn't have. And you'll be surprised at how well priced it is compared to what's out there with way, way, way less features. It's a must-have base on your floor. Honestly, it really is.
That's awesome. And the best part is all you got to do is come into BedTech space at market C1564 and try it out for yourself and see if it's as great as we have said it is. You know, we had two different bases in, and you guys really kind of combined those bases from the last market. This is Nicholas from Dover Mattress Closeout Center in Alabama. I am not able to attend Vegas. I have a store I have to be out of in 30 plus days, but y'all making me want to jump on a plane. Smile.
We wish you could make it.
Well, if you can get there, let us know. And if you can be there on Saturday night, join us for the MRT event, which is free. But you do have to RSVP.
That reminds me, something that we're going to do with some of our reps, and that is that if some of these guys that can't make it, we're gonna try to, on some downtimes, be able to maybe walk some people through via like a FaceTime call or something like that. So if there's some people out there that are listening that, hey, I just can't come because, you know, whatever reason, you know, just let us know and we can run you through the space and show you some of the deals and promos that we're doing, and make you feel like you're there as much as possible.
That's great. That's awesome, guys. So, Justin, what else you got for me, man?
Well, what do we want to talk about? We want to talk about more product. Does anybody have any questions out there?
I want to know how much to get you live on camera.
I'm waiting to see the bids start popping up on the screen, like one of those live chats and tallying up and everything like that. I haven't seen a number high enough yet, but, you know.
Oh, Steve, my favorite Justin is a quiet Justin.
Don't you wish you had a mute button, man?
Anthony Campos, how much to get Justin on camera? Yep, 100%.
No, but Pete, at the market, we've just done some improvements. I mean, if we're going to keep talking about markets since that's so close, we put a lot of our pillows in boxes. That's all been done. We've upgraded our high, medium, low pillow. The new fabric panel is almost too good, where it's going to probably suck all the pillow business around it into 3 to 4 SKUs. I really encourage you guys to come by. I think the new B180 little shoulder cutout's probably going to be the best pillow we've ever released. And so, yeah, I mean, we have.
So dude, I got something for you. It was 4 degrees in Cleveland 2 days ago. I went into my car. I pulled my Bella pillow out. It was soft. Dude, the memory foam didn't freeze.
Well, that's when you get into the water expanded visco versus, yeah, we have our Italian pillows there. Thanks for bringing that up, Pete. I know there's been a huge hole left in the market, and that wasn't an easy product to put together. We had to source that from 3 different places.
Let's talk about that a little bit, because it really is a great story. And it's a story about there's something that our dealers need. How can we get this done? And running into one brick wall after another. And then, you know, coming up with a not easy to execute strategy that is actually working really, really well.
Well, back to Steve Hoke, I think he talked about this the other day on the industry group. Yeah, I mean, he was actually one of the big people. I mean, Steve was coming into market like, look, I'm doing really well with this product. I can't get my hands on it. They're constantly out of stock. And to duplicate the product, to do it right and have it be cost effective, correct me if I'm wrong, Darren, you had to source the cores, the foam from Italy. You had to source the fabric to get that plush fabric from our fabric supplier over in Asia. And then the box you had to source here in the United States, and you guys are assembling the 3 together there at Arizona. Did I get that right to make Steve happy?
That is exactly right. We are doing exactly what you said, and it's a cumbersome process, but it's utilizing everybody's strength, right? This Italian memory foam, and Italian foam is special. Like you had referenced, it's a water-based expansion. It's not a chemical-based expansion. So it is special, and it feels special, and it reacts differently to hot and cold. And it's a very special formula. And then, of course, our fabric supplier in Asia, they do it perfectly for us. We have high quality fabrics that are cooling and feel great. And then we source the really pretty color box here, assemble it with our labor here in Phoenix, and then we ship it off all across the country. It's a great process, and it's inexpensive compared to what else is out there for the same type of a product, and we don't skimp on anything. Everything is top quality, from the way that it looks to the way that it feels to the way that the fabric is produced. It's an amazing product.
It is. And so what else? What else are we doing at market, guys? This is kind of exciting.
Let's switch topics a little bit here, because I know it's mostly for the retailers on here.
Yeah.
And let's just talk about 2026.
All right.
Let's just do it. That way, if any retailers have any questions or anything like that. So for 2026, obviously, you're probably going to see more of the bifurcation, where the high end, if you look, I was at a conference, I believe the statistic is the top 10% of earners are now 60% of all spending. So I'm going to say that again. The top 10% of earners are 60% of all spending. So I think most retailers probably listening have already started the process of, migrating up the line and re-merchandising their floors. I would just really press the people that haven't to get with the people that have. That's why MRT and Wingo coaching and some of these things that are available are there for you guys, because the traffic's lower than it's ever been coming through the door. Amazon is not letting up, right? That's not going to go away. And so where you guys can win is continuing to focus on training, education. There's so many resources out there today, besides coming like a certified sleep science coach. There's the drift courses. This is really the time, and Jeff Giannakovo talks about it a lot. You got to sharpen your pencil and master your craft right now. So as a retailer, the one thing that BedTech, we want to make sure we're always doing for you guys is supporting these retail outlets that are there for you guys. I can't beat this drum hard enough that's what's going to make you guys succeed. Call Scott Vaughn, have him come out and do training. Call Randy Thompson, have him come do base training. Join the MRTs, get with the Midases. Call Bob Munkle and have him come out and do stuff. There's so many great resources available for you guys right now that if you're not compounding those resources into your business, you're going to turn around and still have a $1,000 average ticket and have only 22 customers coming through the door a month and can't get off $20,000, $30,000, where you turn around and you see these people making the changes that are at these $4,000 or $5,000 average tickets with 22 customers, and they got $1.5 million store. And so myself, with my retail background also, I just want to extend this. My phone's always on. My messenger is always on. My text is always on. If a retailer's out there and you're buying BedTech product and you need help, if you're working, I'm working, always feel free to reach out to me, Darren, Bob, Red Matt, Pete, anybody on the team. We want to see you guys be successful.
And 2026, when I think of how our customers win, how retailers win in 2026, and it's about providing a customer experience that online cannot, right? When customers still want to feel good about their purchase, they want to feel like they have people that are going to back their product. And if you can do that in your community, if you can do that and make sure that when they come into that store, that they feel welcome, they feel, upbeat and positive. It's not a doom and gloom place. Make sure that that first thing that they feel is a welcome environment. But also that means that the outside of your store needs to look good. You got to take pride in the way that your store looks. It's first impressions, right? How does it look when you walk into your store? Make sure it's clean. If you have a dirty store, you are crazy. You've got to take pride in the way that that store looks. If you have any dirty mattresses, dirty pillows, whatever is dirty in there, people do not want to lay on a dirty mattress or a dirty pillow. You will shoot yourself in the foot immediately. Take pride in the way that your store looks. The customers will appreciate it. You will make more sales, and those first impressions will go a long way. But that for me is one way you can, by making sure that you hire great people, the people that are going to be friendly, fun, energetic, and they know a lot about the product. Those people are going to be a huge asset.
I want to tell
hire those people. Get those people to be on board.
You triggered something there about the clean store. It was really funny. So I was at the Sleep Summit, one of Mark Kinsley's event, and Harry Roberts, the founder of Mattress Firm, was there. And his brother, Charlie, when Mattress Firm was early on, was really involved in the business. And Charlie was like, I can't remember which hotel, I'm going to get it wrong. Charlie, if you see this, I'm sorry. I can't remember if it was Westin or Hilton or where he was in charge of like consumer experience. But Harry from Mattress Firm brought Charlie in, and it was funny. Charlie would go around to the stores, and when he would go in, he'd walk right past the salesperson, right past the desk, and right into the bathroom. And he told that story at the Sleep Summit and would say, if you have a dirty bathroom, then I know that you're not taking care of your store. And so I would also say, guys, we're selling most of the time to the women. So to Darren's point, like, and to Charlie's point, it's the little things that matter. If a woman beelines in and runs right to the bathroom and goes and uses it and then comes back out, is she still going to want to shop at your store? And I thought it was funny that Charlie had probably 150 people in front of him, and he took the time to tell the story about making sure the bathroom was cleaned.
Yeah.
And so to Darren's point, I mean, it's the little things that add up.
Yeah, don't have a truck stop bathroom. Nobody wants to be in a truck stop bathroom, but it's this, like, you need every single morning without fail. Somebody needs to run through that store, make sure everything looks good, everything's presentable, make sure it's not dirty, check the bathroom. Anything that is cluttersome is a turnoff to women and quite frankly, to anybody. People want to see a well-kept showroom, bathroom, anything. And so take pride in that. Every morning it should be done, every single day.
So we have a running joke with my retailers. If I go into their bathroom, they often greet me with, "Did I pass?" Because I talk about bathrooms so much. And I tell the story. I took 2 or 3 hours to clean one of my dealer's bathrooms. And when I finished, I said, I know it's going to be a pig's pen after this, but at least it's clean now. And do you want to know something? To his credit, God rest his soul, I don't think he's with us anymore. He kept that bathroom clean for the rest of the time he had that store. So I was
valuable lesson, Pete. That's awesome.
I was really proud of him. I thought he would be so mad at me. But I had to clean it. I could not clean it. So here's some additional things. So we all know that we sell women. And if we don't know that, you need to wake up. And here is a woman, Becky Woolman from Somerset, Kentucky. We have a sign in our bathrooms that we have the cleanest bathrooms from here to Buc-ee's.
Love it. I love it.
That's awesome. And Edward Collins says, unless it's a Buc-ee's truck stop bathroom. That's right. That is
You're
the
not
exception. And Christina Espinoza, I will leave a business in a hurry if the bathroom is icky. Yeah, me too.
Well, and hey, Pete, I want to touch on this because I was doing a training the other day. And thank you for saying that, Christina, because you just triggered something. Can everybody remember that we are all consumers? And so when we go out and we go to consume things, what do we like? Clean, well-spaced stores, friendly people working with us, et cetera, et cetera. But then for some reason in our own business, we forget to do the little things that we as a customer would expect and appreciate. And so I think we can all take a step back just to remind ourselves that we're all consumers every day. And if you look at your store as if you were the consumer and put that lens on instead of the the blinders of being the owner, you'll see a lot of things that as a consumer, you might walk in like, well, why is it like this? And so to Christina's point, I mean, she's a woman. She said she sees a dirty bathroom, turns around and walks out. That's of any type of store, not just a mattress store. So I always remind, hey, you know, we're consumers. Treat your store as if you're the customer, not the owner.
That's true, Becky. You have a great bathroom. No truck stop bathroom here. Laughing emoji for those of you who are replaying this on audio. One other thing. Bathrooms are huge. They really are. Women who are the decision makers, whether you want to believe that or not, gentlemen, they are. Because with my wife, I always get the last two words. You know what they are? Yes, dear. And she's heard me and she's laughing. She's laughing.
I love that. Yeah.
Women notice your nails and they notice your shoes. Gentlemen, make sure your shoes are looking good and those nails are nice and clean. All right, guys, we got a few minutes left. What would you, if I didn't ask you a question, what question should I have asked you guys that I didn't?
Gosh, that's a
Man,
loaded
I
question.
stumped Justin. I am so happy. I stumped Justin Trumbo.
Well, I don't want to steal, because my advice is going to be the same advice that Jeff Janakovo's guest is going to give at MRT, because I happen to know who the guest is, and I don't want to steal that thunder. So I think
I happen to know who the guest is.
I think people should go to Jeff's event and get the same advice that I was just about to give right there. I got to kind of pivot on that one, because the guest host is going to give a whole hour on my advice there. Yeah, there you go. There's the information again. That last hour would probably be the best thing that I would advise people. You should definitely be there to hear that whole sales training around my advice. But I think that I would just say in 2026, maybe my advice to retailers, do what we did in our business in your business. Go through it and find where your slippage is. If you have too much carried inventory, reduce it. If you have stuff in your warehouse that's no longer displayed on your floor, well, how are you going to sell it out of a warehouse that's not on display? Pull it forward, get it tagged, get it gone, get your cash out of it. Be proactive in your own business to scrape the sides of the barrel like we had to do for tariffs, because those 1, 2, 3, 4% that you find, that's you and your family's money. Or it's your money to invest into advertising to get more traffic through the door, or upgrades and updates that you need to do. And so I would say for the retailers, look what we did in our business to fight tariffs and pretend you're dealing with tariffs and do that same thing in your own business. Christina, to answer your rep question, because I saw it pop up, stop trying to sell people product. Nobody wants to buy your product. Nobody wants to buy your bases. Nobody wants to buy your high rises. Nobody wants to buy your mattresses. Focus on working with your customers and finding out their real problems, Christina. And just like you advise retailers to do for their customers, be the solution. Because there's so many products you can buy from everyone, and you shouldn't buy them from everyone. You should buy them from the retailer. As a retailer, you should buy the product that's right for your business. That's the solution for your business, not what your rep's trying to stack on you. So reps, stop stacking your customers, stop selling them stuff they don't need, right? Sell them what they need, be the solution. Think long-term.
Great advice. And, you know, Christina, you might know this, but Justin started off as a rep, and he's still a rep in a lot of ways, in addition to being an owner. And here's something that I would add to that, Christina. You should know the origin story for every store you call on. If you have an account, you need to know their origin story, and you need to sit there. And if it takes 2 to 3 hours or 5 hours, it doesn't matter. You need to take notes. You need to understand who they are, where they coming from. And then what you need to know about your dealer, if you're going to be successful as a rep, what does their future look like? What do they want their future to look like? Are they building a business to pass down to their children? Are they building a business to sell it? You know, what is their vision for this business? And then what is their passion? And then what are their abilities and their shortcomings? And then how do I help them get to where they need to get? And along the way, if you're doing all that, you're going to get more business than you can shake a stick at.
Well said, Pete.
It's just gonna happen. But what I would say is be a good human first. Just be a good human and help your dealers, and they will reward you with more business than you could ever imagine in your life. So, what do you got, Darren? I know you got something to say there.
I love what you guys said, and I won't add to any advice because I think you guys said it perfectly. And so I just want to end with my parting comments of saying that I appreciate so much each and every individual, all of our BedTech partners, all of our reps, our customers. It's because of you that we are who we are, and so we want to do everything that we can within our power to be the best partner. And we know that we have flaws and mistakes, and we don't always perform perfect. And we understand that, and we admit that. And so we want to open the door as a good partner and say, hey, if there's anything that you want us to do differently or you want us to try to be better at, we want that advice. We want to be open to the fact that we can learn from our peers, we can learn from our customers, how we can better service them. And so, we always have an open door policy here within our organization, and we want to extend that open door policy to our customers. We want feedback. How can we serve you better? And so if you can send us an email or a text message or a message on Facebook, whatever it is, or see us in person at market, we want to have that feedback because we want to be the best that we can be. And your valuable insight is something that we really cherish. And so anyway, we appreciate everybody. Love you guys. Thank you for your partnership. Thank you, Pete, for the ability to come in here on your show and to have a little bit of dialogue with your guests on your show. I appreciate that.
My pleasure. What's the best way for someone to get a hold of you specifically?
Me, just Darren, Darren at bedtech.com. Very simple.
Justin, same question at you, brother.
You can just shoot me a text, give me a call, 503-522-4019, or just email me at easyrest.midwest@gmail.com.
Awesome. Last words, Justin. Last words, brother.
I'm going to second what Darren says. I appreciate everybody out there except for Steve Hoke. Love you, Steve. Love you, brother. Had to go.
Nice shot, Justin.
In all seriousness, and to second what Darren said, everything that we've grown from has pretty much came from our partners. Every change we've made, every stackable leg, every upgrade, every enhancement, every packaging change, every new product, most of that is stemmed from our retail partners. We don't have like a huge R&D development team that's like in a facility sitting there thinking up new ideas as much as I wish we would. But that's also how we're able to be so cost effective. We don't have a department of everything. So you guys really are our RD department. We get our best ideas from you. And I think that that's a better resource because you're the boots on the ground dealing with the people every day. So just thank you for being free RD for us. We really appreciate it, and keep the good ideas coming.
Guys, I want to thank you for coming on the show. And I want to remind everybody, if this is your first time watching the show, or you're not familiar with Darren, not familiar with Justin, Darren's family were retailers. Justin was a retailer. I was in retail for 9 years before I got into the wholesale end of it. If you're listening to this show and you're going, these guys really get it. Well, because we were you and we are you, and we do keep our retailer hat on. So guys, thank you so much. I can't wait to see you guys. Darren, I'll see you tomorrow. And Justin, I'll see you on Saturday. And all of you guys that have been watching, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in Vegas in the next few days. So Thank you guys. Go forward and sell 1 million. Thanks.